Hey, you guys, you just entered a safe space for the mind, heart, and soul. Welcome to Meet Me Mentally, a space where we heal out loud. I'm your host, Amber, and together we'll unpack the unspoken. No filters, no shame, just truth, healing, and love. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Meet Me Mentally, where we always discuss unfiltered truths. This time it's a little bit about the holiday season. So I have brought a special guest who, along with myself, really enjoy prepping and doing a lot of things in regards to the holidays. So without further ado, this special guest, y'all probably have heard me speak on her, talk about her, um, more than once, but it is my amazing and lovely grandmother. What up?
Hi, Amber. Pleased to be here. Now, are we gonna be laughing,
We're gonna be
crying?
we're gonna be all of
What?
the above. However it flows, it's gonna flow.
Okay.
All right. So man, we are big on holidays. Me and you both. I'm not as big when it comes to Thanksgiving. I'm really big when it comes to Christmas. But what I wanted to first ask you, because I don't know how I became so enamored with the holidays. So I'm sure by you being a person who, have helped raise me, when you think back, the first question is, when you think back to your very first memories of Thanksgiving or Christmas, what do you remember most?
Well, I go back just when we moved into our house on Hickory, and we were poor, but we didn't know we were poor. We thought we were rich
Not to cut you off, when you say y'all move, or are you talking about you as a child or you as a mother?
as a child.
Okay.
And I guess the upbringing that they gave within the household to learn to appreciate. And here come the holidays. And it was family. And family to my mom and dad was togetherness with all of us. And as we got older, it went with us. And this is what they expected of us, to gather for Thanksgiving, all of us. No matter how small the house was, we were there, sitting on the floor, two chairs for visitors. So you know we enjoyed it. No bad remarks of saying, oh, I don't have a seat. The seat was the floor. But we enjoyed, and I pass it on as I got older to my kids and to y'all, the grandkids.
Okay. So what did Thanksgiving look like? I know you just was, explaining about people coming over, two seats for guests, but what did Thanksgiving look like when you were growing up, and who was there? What was cooked, and what made the day feel so special?
First of all, at that time I didn't know the word prep. And I used to see my mother in the kitchen a couple of days before Thanksgiving getting things together. Uh, all of us were married, so that brought on my sister-in-law. My sister in Detroit, where she never was able to come down at the time to enjoy what we enjoyed. So we used to always have to give her the, what y'all call it, the 411 or whatever of how things were. But at that time, when everybody got married, she expected everybody to bring the sides. And she did the man stuff. And it was more or less just being together. One thing they believed in, love. Now, when I say love, love can go all kind of ways. Now, I'm not saying that our life was perfect. No, not by far. But you can feel love. A person know when you are loved. So with them, this is what it was all about. Rearing their kids, and we all had respect. But then at that time, all kids had respect for one another because the whole community helped raise everybody. And when we say Hickory, I'm going off a little bit, but when we say Hickory Lane, Hickory Street, we meant family, if that makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense to me because if we can just kind of move a little bit off of Thanksgiving, um, I can remember a Christmas Eve where we and for people who don't know, Christmas Eve is like my favorite day of the year. Favorite day of the year. It's always been where um my mom, her college friends then came, my uncle, his frat brothers then came. Um, you know, as I got older, my friends would come. My brother is because my grandmother lived off the river road where there is the bonfire festival or the bonfires, should I say, and they use the bonfires to say they is lighting the way for Santa along the river. But I remember this particular Christmas Eve where it felt like the entire Hickory Street was at home playing Jenga. And I remember we had to, bring a cousin home because, we was playing and then got drunk. But that's what I look forward to every year is the camaraderie that we have on Christmas Eve. It's like people just coming off the street. Some people we haven't seen in years. Some people we
Right.
don't even know because, of course, it's tourists sometimes that's coming to view it. But that is something that has really been has stuck with me that is something that I love. So when you say Hickory Street, I definitely get it because it felt like family. It felt
Right.
like even though we probably see these people every day when we drive down from up the street, but we'll just wave. But to have them come inside to talk and
Have
drink
a
and
drink and
eat,
eat.
yeah,
That
that's something
means a
special.
lot.
Yeah.
Yes, that speaks volume. And so Thanksgiving, well, right now, I love September. September to November. Me, that's with Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward. This is our third year that we done brought the family back together with my brothers, their family, grandkids, great grandkids, if they have any,
Mm-hmm.
that we all want to just be together. Same thing. I have a dining room set, but it don't fit everybody. So you sit where
Find
you
a seat.
belong, find
Find
a
a seat.
seat.
Yep.
That's not good. We always have the floor. And guess what? That speaks volume of love to me. This is
Yeah.
what I like. And then, like you say, Christmas. After Thanksgiving is Christmas. So it's like entertaining our friends. There's no uh, looking down on anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we was raised. You have to be raised like this to accept people like that.
So to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying, because that really goes into my next question. It is what are some of the traditions that our family has kept over the years that mean the most to you?
You know what, Amber? I'm going to say this. Sanji now cooks everything. But we compare the dinner to what my mother used to fix. So sometimes I can just be standing over the sink and get teary eyed because this is something that she taught me about spending time with family.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you say turkey, ham, we try to have the spread.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that I guess instilled in us about drawing people to us, the
Mm-hmm.
family. Because so many times family has just separated. And that's part of your not your podcast, your
Oh
podcast, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it to bring people together
That
that.
we just done strayed away.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're asking yourself or you're asking other people, what happened? What what went wrong?
Do you think that when um Mama Jerry, since she was the matriarch of the family, that's the one who was the jail. That was the one that was the person to bring people
Yes.
together. Do you think? And of course, this is a mental health podcast. Do you think mentally people were just not in the right headspace anymore to be amongst each other since she was gone?
Well, you know what? Now I'm getting teary eyed because she was. And I patterned my lifestyle after her, wanting to do, wanting to get approval, if I'm doing it right or if I'm wrong. And once your mother leave, now that's me, I can't speak for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Once your mother leave, to me, it's no one else. And I don't care how long it takes, because she been dead 40 some years. I'm still crying. The tears come just naturally.
Right.
Then, look, after that, I can just laugh, dance, because I'm still dancing.
Right.
But she is. And I'm not going to take away from my dad either, because he was there. But your mom, let me tell you something about that. And I guess it brings on a holiday of depression. And that's mentally where I start feeling down and out. Your mother can tell you something and makes you feel so good knowing that you going through like the, I'm gonna say, I hope I don't go to hell, but the pits of hell. And what she tell you, you on a high, like you with the angels. A mother's love never ends. Now guess what? I tell people, they talk about Mary, and I said, I don't worship Mary. I adore her.
Mm-hmm.
Because to look and know that your child has died on the cross for us. When I say us, I mean black, white, blue, green. I don't care who it is.
Right.
But you got to believe in who God is. Goes back to the holidays again. We didn't have much. But what we had, I don't care if it was $1, we appreciate it. It was like they done gave us $1 million gift. As we got older, the gift became as y'all choose one thing.
Mm-hmm.
One year was a TV for all of us. Another year, at that time, was the hi-fi. We must have danced 24 hours.
And I do say that that's something that you definitely have, you had, brought along for me and G as well. Cause I remember Christmases that, of course we done got older now, so it's not the same, of course, because we're just like, you could just give us some money. But I remember growing up where it's like you picked one big gift. Like we would still get a bunch of gifts, but it was a one surprise gift that we wouldn't even know about. And I remember it was the Beats, I think you had bought me one Christmas, and I was just in total shock. So just to know that that's I feel like that's still in the same realm of what they did for you. So for you to still kind of bring that on, I just didn't really put that together until you saying that now. Another question is, we talking about Thanksgiving, talking about family, talking about cooking. Which dish or recipe in the family has the most history behind it? And I know you're not the baker of the family. My mama is.
Right.
So would you think it's something that it's dessert wise, or
I really think it's food.
okay? So what would it be?
It would be the rice dressing that I love.
Okay.
Then she used to make this stuff oyster patty. That would be the second
You
thing.
haven't made that in.
I have never made that because I don't want to mess it up.
So it wasn't an oyster patty, but I remember you making something that had like a dough, and you would stuff like ground meat inside of it. It looked like a biscuit or something that you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you done made it. I don't think it was oyster, but it definitely had ground meat in it. But it literally, I felt like you only made it one time. So maybe it was that one time that it probably didn't taste good. I don't know. But would you say that Mama Jerry was the catalyst of teaching you how to cook the meals that that we have currently been passed down?
Yes. Yes. Especially when you're nosy. You want to find out, well, what you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Or she might say, well, get out my way. Let me finish what I'm doing. And as I got older and I was in my house, she would call me on the phone and say, Miss Thomas, what you doing? And I said, I'm cooking. She said, girl, cut that stove off and come have a beer with me. Y'all don't know how that made me feel. Like I was a woman in child's shoes. And I cut the stove off, run down the street to my mama, and we having a time of our life. That's the holidays.
Holidays. Okay. So this is something that you are big on, and we always laugh with her because we call her the Bill Cosby of the family without the drugging people, y'all. We call her the Bill Cosby because she has a story for everything. So moving along with the questions is talking about stories from the past. And so can you tell a story from an old Thanksgiving, something funny, something chaotic, or something that has stayed with you?
You know when tragedy hits your family and you think you can't handle it and it's no laughter?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this Thanksgiving, my mother was diagnosed with cancer. And we all was around the table. And one of my uncles was there, Uncle Neil. And I can't remember, I don't think my brothers had gotten there yet. But we sitting to the table and we all laughing and talking and it was time to bless the food. And boy, we went on and blessing everybody. We must have called people all next door and crossed the track and everything. And my mama looked at us and said, well, what happened? My daddy said, but nobody blessed me. And, and we burst out and started laughing. My mama said, you're going to be blessed later. And we thought that was so funny. But we done bless everybody that we could think of. And my daddy sitting there waiting for his blessing. And we thought it was so funny at the time.
So what was the biggest difference between the holidays back then and the holidays now?
People in general. We used to visit. Everybody looked like had a day to go visit this one until New Year's after New Year.
Mm-hmm.
Now we don't even see the family that we were really close to. Everybody done separate. We started giving this Christmas party. This is the first year that we won't have it to keep the family together.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really following the tradition. We want the tradition as family getting back together because we see in so many other families that's what's going on too.
Yeah. So I know, just to kind of go back a little bit, we had spoke about the family kind of um dissolving a little after Mama Jerry passed away. Who would you say, or what would you say kind of brought us back together?
Sandra. Sandra have always been, I'm trying to find the right word, family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Always. I took after my dad. I could care less. Sit on the sofa, watch TV, eat things that I don't supposed to eat, drink things that I don't supposed to drink, and be very, very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Sanji loves family. She loves all of her family. I love my family too, but she shows it.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that's the reason why she takes on um being the chef, or is it because some people just can't cook?
Sanji takes on being the chef, being the lawyer, being the policeman, being everything because that's her nature.
Mm-hmm.
And we all look, well, I do sometimes. Sanji, what you gonna do? I have a brother that come home call a lawyer. One thing she said, I don't talk about nothing I don't know. What I don't know, I don't open my mouth. I said, okay.
So in hindsight, she is pretty much the staple of putting us all back together to enjoy well, enjoy Thanksgiving. And
Yes.
this will be our what, third
Third.
year of, okay. So moving on, when you look at your life now, what are you most grateful for this Thanksgiving? And I know we always, from I can remember, say what we're thankful for, what we're grateful
Around the
for
table,
every
exactly.
year. But what are you most grateful for this Thanksgiving?
Let me say this. To me, I've noticed how people are just dying. People that you know really close to, they're no longer here, young and old.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I sit down and I say, Lord, I thank you. I say, I wish my sister was here, but I still have my three brothers. I feel that we are so close that if any time, anyone, it could be me, I would rather it be me
Mm-hmm.
pass before them because I love my brothers. Lord, do I love my brothers. So if anyone would pass, I don't know if I'll be here the next day my own self.
Mm. That's real. Um, and I done got teary eyed because I mean I know I think we all feel that way about our uncles too, and I say our because my mom is here as well, but I we have been in positions where we done got scares. And so I definitely can understand how, as a sister, and I've witnessed you when it came to Aunt Shirley passing. So I definitely can understand how that would make you feel. Um, how has your understanding of gratitude and gratefulness changed as you've gotten older?
You know, when you're young, you think you know God. When you get a little older, it's another step. You're still thinking you know God. In my journey, when I found out that I really knew God, you see, when you know God, you have a conscience. When you don't know God, you don't have a conscience.
Mm-hmm.
When you're right, you're right, and when you're wrong, you're wrong. But when you read the word for yourself and ask God to pierce your heart of understanding, that's when I feel that grace and mercy. And sometimes I just have to just shake my head at time and say, Lord, I thank you. My season is not your season.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that too. My journey is not your journey. I had to learn it.
Oh, repeat that one more time for me.
My journey is not your journey. I know I tell you things go off on the deep end and I want you to do what I say. But the reason why, Amber, because the mistakes I made, I don't want you to make those same mistakes. You're going to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still making mistakes at the age I am. Maybe that's why we celebrate the holidays the way we do. Mentally, we all have our little mentally issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, too? And I'm going to say like this. Who don't gossip?
Right.
But a priest told me a long time ago when you gossip to hurt someone, that's a sin. We all sinners.
Mm-hmm.
No sin is what greater than the other.
I always say that. I always say that.
And you have to learn that too along the way.
Well, what has kept you grounded in the years when money was tight or life has felt heavy?
Honestly, UNG.
Okay.
You know, God does things for a reason. And at the time, we don't see it. The most hurting thing when you got your driver's license and G got his, y'all didn't need me anymore. The ripping and running kept me going. I see more places, met more people than I can ever imagine, good, bad, and ugly.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it was one thing. Well, I know in college,
We had our time.
every Saturday we would have our time until my mama moved back, and then I moved to Ohio. But that was something that we did every Saturday. Um, to kind of pivot into family wisdom, and that's something that you on a daily basis you always want to throw some wisdom out. Um, what do you want our families to always remember about sticking together during the holidays?
You know what? And I know it might be hard to do, easy to say, hard to do. Family, and I'm not just talking about in the household. I'm talking about family in general, the cousins, distant cousin and all. Things happen so fast, but you got to pull together for strength to give and encourage whoever is going through something at that time, because you're never out the woods yourself.
Right.
Might be your time today, my time tomorrow. What is the lowest of low? I don't know yet, because my low is not your low.
Right.
And that's when you learn to call upon Jesus.
Okay. Um, what is something? This is something that we always kind of. Well, I know this is the reason why we were, hosting family Christmas parties every year. But what's something you want the younger folks in our family to remember as they grow up?
Don't lose respect. You know, it's not hard to get up in the morning and say good morning. It's not hard to say good evening or good night, Mr. or Miss. I don't care who you are, what color you are. We were raised up like that. Integration to me was good, and then it was bad, because our race and our culture, we appreciated and we respected people. Integration came along where, let me go back. In school, we caught some whipping when things weren't right by the teachers. And we prayed to God that you don't go home and tell our parents, because that was another whipping. So in turn, when integration came along, there was a whole new set of rules. Couldn't spank anybody. So look what's going on now. They always had a little fist fight. Now it's guns.
It's guns.
And respect, mannerism, all that ties in. It's not. It'll never be outdated. Never ever. You can tell the old schoolers, what y'all say, the OGs.
That's what Sandra said. But if that's what you want to call them, the OGs.
Because we still have it. Good morning.
Well, I would say
What you say?
millennials too. I mean, I'm a millennial, and I think millennials are, we say the good mornings, we still say the good evenings. I think the Gen Zs, the ones who are, the TikTokers, the content creators, I think they are in an era where they've lost touch with, the respect. I mean, we just seen what a couple of weeks ago, I mean, not a week ago, but not a couple of weeks ago, but a week ago, where the child threw a plate at the teacher's face, so, and I know that's kind of off topic with the holiday season, but it still goes back to respect and the family dynamic, because a lot of that is, I know for a fact that would have never crossed my mind because of how I was raised. Like, even just talking back to a teacher is not something that
Right.
I was raised on. That would have never. So to throw a plate, that's something that, I go back and I think about, well, what is their home life like? Are they
Right.
disrespecting the parent as well? Because in no shape or form was that okay.
Well, I used to tell you all, and I used to tell your mom and dad, hey, I'm gonna bring you to the source. I'll find out who lying. Somebody lying, but I'm gonna bring you to the source before I even pass judgment on anything. We're gonna see what's going on. If I find you lied to me, I'm gonna beat you in front of everybody. I used to tell y'all that, right?
And you have.
And that's it. Do not, because he is older, that teaches you elder. I'm the grown up. Let me handle it.
Mm-hmm. So going to go back to what we were talking about, and before we go to a break, one of the questions that I really wanted to ask is that, as a widow, how has Thanksgiving changed for you as a widow?
Sitting around the table, because even at that time, if it's as far as I know, and I got it from my mom and dad, that we take the time to say what we're most thankful.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as being a widow, you all kept me going. You all filled the gap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm older now. I was married for 50 some years before, I became a widow. So by having you all and getting back to the holidays, even though the kids are away, some people kids are away,
Mm-hmm.
you try to make it home for the holidays. See, that speaks volumes. Sometimes you can't.
Mm-hmm.
There's circumstances, situations. Sometimes you can't. In my sister situation, there's Ronnie. That's my girl too.
Mm-hmm.
She will try more now to come back to Louisiana.
And for listeners who are listening and people are watching, Ronnie is my grandmother's niece.
Yes.
Her sister's daughter.
She's a twin.
She's a twin. One out of what, six? One out of, yeah, out of seven. Yeah.
Kid.
So Ronnie comes frequent. She'll try and come twice a year.
Yes.
But we're gonna do a quick break, meet me family, and try and collect ourselves. We got a couple of more topics to go through, and we'll be closing out. But other than that, meet me mentally. Welcome back, Meet Me family. I'm here with my grandmother once again, and we're talking about the holidays and what the holidays means to us. We've discussed Thanksgiving and family, and so in regards to family, I do have some more questions, because eventually your family dynamic changed. Your mom passed, and so we're gonna discuss a little bit about how did you feel and how was the holidays moving forward after, well, we call your dad Daddy. How did you feel after he remarried, and how did the holidays change for you?
Well, first of all, after my mom died and my dad remarried Miss Lacey. Now, Miss Lacey is related to my dad's brother.
Miss Lisa's wife.
Miss Lacey is married to my dad's brother's.
She's related to.
Yeah.
It's two sisters that married two brothers.
Sisters married two brothers. Well, at first it looked like the family couldn't gel. Mm-hmm. But let me tell you how God's worked. Miss Lacey was the best second mom. I'm going to speak for myself, not speaking for anyone else. To me, my dad was a loving husband to my mom. Mm-hmm. Till the bitter end. You hear what I'm saying? Till she took her last breath. How I feel. Then came Miss Lacey. Miss Lacey, sister name, we call her Aunt Cat. That's Don Lemon's mother. She came along with my Uncle Hollis, which is Aunt Cat's husband. We used to look forward when they come because it was like family. CJ, my Uncle Nia, Sarah Bear, Zuri, Cassie. My Uncle Henry, he died. Well, even back then, it was family. Mm-hmm. When my daddy remarried, things still were, it was better. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna share this. It was better, and I'm sure Miss Lacey kids felt or feel the same way I do. Mm-hmm. No one could take your mom's place. And she didn't try to do it.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't try to do it.
And no one could take their dad's
And no
place.
one could take their dad's place.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think my dad tried either. Both of them enjoyed each other's company that I seen.
Mm-hmm.
Sanjay was the driver. They had Sanjay driving them everywhere. Oh, my daddy saw another side of life. My mother was a homebody. Miss Lacey used to like to go.
Mm-hmm.
And they went. They like to dance.
So to keep on with that, do you remember how you felt during the holidays with a new family dynamic, and was it an adjustment trying to blend old traditions with new ones?
Yes. Yes. But it went well.
So of course you gained other siblings. So how was that dynamic? Like, because once again, I can't remember a time my younger years where um I remember them coming for Christmas Eve. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't remember it being a time. I do remember that there was a time where we went to Baton Rouge for Thanksgiving at one point in time. But was it ever a time where, in the younger years that, Momo Lacey,
Oh,
and would
yes.
they would come for
Uh
Christmas
huh.
Eve?
Her siblings, grandkids, until the day we still good. We
Yeah.
close.
No,
We
I definitely know now. We see them often when we have family events or Good Friday or anything like that. They definitely are. They'll come, but I just couldn't remember. As I was,
we
as
stayed we
yeah.
stayed close.
Okay. And what were those first few Thanksgivings or Christmas gatherings like after he remarried? Were there still, were your brothers coming around?
You know, I really I really don't remember. I know we weren't a family like that. Everybody had their own Thanksgiving at their house. I told you until Sanjay.
Okay. So that's when you would say that it kind of because Momo Jerry passed, they started their own traditions.
Right.
And so
Mm-hmm.
that's when you started your own with your own
With my
family.
own
Okay.
family.
Okay.
And still, we were still around the table on Thanksgiving Day, saying what we were most grateful. We never took that out of
Absolutely.
the equation.
Um, did you ever feel that things shifted in a way? Um, did you feel like anything shifted in a way the family came together around the holidays? So, do you think that the dynamic of Christmas Eve had changed or Christmas Day had changed at all?
You mean after my mom died?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes and no.
There was still visits,
Yeah,
family
yes
visits.
and no. And you know what? I think everybody felt, I'm going to say my siblings, I think we all felt that way, that it was us. We
Mm-hmm.
made it that way.
Um, what part of the holidays felt the hardest to adapt during that time?
Thanksgiving.
Because she wasn't.
She wasn't the tears that I shed tonight. That's how I am though. That's how I am around this time because I could see her in the kitchen preparing and just overexcited to try to make everybody happy. That's the kind of person she was.
And you getting emotional all over
All
again?
over again.
Again.
She was a person that wanted people to be happy.
Happy. Well, I will have to say that I do commend my mama for bringing it back together because Thanksgiving, as even though Thanksgiving is not my favorite holiday of the year, I will say being able to be amongst the family and even us younger ones, the 30s and down, we laughing about football, we laughing, we playing cards. It's a fun time. So
Right.
I do have to commend my mama for bringing it back because I'm hoping that we can continue it on. I'm not even trying to think about you or your siblings passing, but knowing that we have kind of started a foundation that we could continuously
Right, we
build
look
on.
forward to it because everybody has gotten older. Ronnie, he have two grandkids, and they look
But
forward.
no, he
Wait,
got
no, he
four.
have how
Yeah,
many?
four. We talking the twins, Dallas, D Money. So that's
Yeah, right.
four.
So he have them. So we look forward to seeing them. Okay, here come Dooley with his gang.
And that's a game. That's a game.
Here
We can't even
we
say
do
how
it.
many.
Kevin with his gang.
Can't say how many with that either.
I look forward to seeing them and telling them, y'all know me. I'm your aunt. I'm your favorite aunt. You don't know that yet. I love that. And so we are bringing, and guess what? Let me go back. We got together because my sister had her leg amputated. Me and Ronnie had set up everything. My daddy and my mama kids with Shirley. We had planned all of this. All of a sudden, Shirley decided
She didn't want to come.
she wasn't coming. So what I did, I said, well, we'll have a family gathering with Momo. Her name is Viola Clark. With my daddy and mama. All of her children and grandchildren, the cousins or whatever. So we had the family gathering at Paulina Park. And it went so well. That's how the Christmas party. Sanjay and Ayesha said, well, let's do it once a year. Don't wait till somebody pass to say we getting together. I don't like that either because I'm going to be honest with you. Sometime I go and sometime I don't. It's not that I don't want to give respect to the deceased. I can't take it anymore. I like to remember a person
As they were.
as they were. And that's how I am.
So from the family gathering to the annual family Christmas party, you decided that you and your siblings should, or my mama decided that you and your siblings should venture out and have your own Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving like we had years and years ago.
Got you. Well, a couple more questions before we close out. Christmas is approaching. That is my favorite holiday. And so as we move into Christmas, what are you looking for to doing the most this year?
I just like being amongst my family. No price tag, no anything. Just being among.
And I would say for me, every year I look forward to talking to you about Christmas decor. Yes. Every year I love getting with you to do my Christmas setup, see how we gonna lay out my house, see how we gonna lay out the front yard. I don't know if that's the reason why I love Christmas so much, but I know that's just something that we'll stay on FaceTime and talk about all day. I mean, we were just talking about the color schemes for the ribbons. So I think that is something that I look forward to every year when it comes to Christmas. And so to keep going with, holiday season and Christmas, what holiday tradition do you pray the family never lets go of?
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I love that. It just bring love.
And for me, it would be Christmas Eve. I would never want to not have something at the house for Christmas Eve. I will always want to have the party food for Christmas Eve. I will always, of course, me and my uncle continues the tradition of doing a rabbit because that was something that my grandfather did when he was here would do rabbit. So I kind of picked it up. I ain't about to just get my uncle only participates by getting the rabbit for me. He don't do the cooking of it, but I think for me would definitely be Christmas Eve at the house every year because I just love having people come, just random people just showing up, people that you hadn't seen in
Right.
years or expected. I think that's what.
And it's like bringing the old tradition back of, I'm talking about 50, 60 years.
Well, before my time, but I understand,
Right.
girl. I understand.
Exactly.
Um, is there a blessing or a hope you want to speak over the family for the new year?
You know, when I said before that everybody have their own season, I would like family, at least family, still to get to know each other because we don't know the younger kids.
And the young kids don't know the
And the
older
young,
generation.
exactly. But I pray that they let God in their life. They don't know it yet, but they will know how to call upon God. It's their timing. You can't push that on anyone.
If you can sum up what the holidays truly mean to you in one sentence, what would you say?
Love.
Okay. And so before we close, there's two more things I want to ask. Is there anything you want to tell the family or anyone listening from your heart?
From my heart, I'm not always present because I'm not a visitor per se. But I say it from time to time that when things come up and you need me, you can count on me. I'm dedicated like that. I'll pick up, I'll drop everything that I'm doing, anything that I'm doing, and I'll be there to see what's going on and what I can do to help.
Okay. And I ask this to anyone who comes on this set. If you can tell the younger you anything, what would it be?
Now, that's a good question. To have the mindset that I have now,
Which is?
a lot of wisdom. And that came from growing up and still more to learn.
Okay. Well, Mimi family, I want to thank my grandmother. If you know me, you know I call her my mom. So I want to thank my mom for sitting with me, discussing our favorite time of the year. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. The holidays for some can be extremely depressing. It can be something that can be heavy on you. It can be something that weighs down on your spirit. And my prayer for you is that you can find someone, find somebody, find something that can uplift your spirits, that you find that you can attach yourself to, that brings you joy, brings you happiness in this season. I am always willing to listen to emails via my blog. You go to meetmementally.com, where you can send me an email, and I can help you out in regards to saying something uplifting. I always put this disclaimer out that I am not a therapist. However, if you are looking for a therapist, I am able to point you into the right direction of one. But as further ado, meet yourself mentally. Peace. Hey, thank you for tuning in to Meet Me Mentally. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share with someone who needs this. Until next time, protect your peace and meet yourself where you are.